Pick a card. Why are people intimidated by you? Here are your options, and I'll see what you're reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. If you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen, then your downloads go as follows. I definitely feel like you'd be somebody who dresses to impress. You could wear a little something to really change the entire vibe, just like the pearls on this man right here. Beautiful man, by the way. I feel like your attitude is everything and you're very poised. If this is you, join me for your reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, thank you so very much for your time, for your energy, your support, and most of all, your patience. Pile number 1, who and why are people intimidated by you? So you have the 10 of Pentacles, wow. And this one flipped during the shuffle. You have the Queen of Cups. I feel like for you, pile number 1, you're incredibly balanced. You're incredibly balanced regardless of the chips that show through. My polished chip last night. I'm like, really? But I definitely feel like it can have to do with monetary gain, the way that you make your money, the way that you establish stability in your life. Perhaps it has to do with family or a crowd of supporters or a combination thereof, right? And with the Queen of Cups right here, this is always about a person who is very psychic, very in tune with their emotions. They've been through the gamut of like, what is an emotion? How do I handle it? You know, from being a page, being in love with love, and so on, all the way up to the Queen. So you've mastered what it is to have emotion. And I feel like you keep a lot of this to yourself. There's an aura of secrecy about you. I'm going to say that because even with the 10 of Pentacles, I always feel like there's somewhat of a barrier there, energetic barrier. And I feel like people are really intimidated because, first of all, you have a lot of supporters, okay? And these supporters, I feel like maybe they're very private themselves. They know how to draw the line in the sand. Maybe perhaps this isn't a crowd or a people that can be easily influenced, okay? And I'm led to an example of like somebody who's related or involved with like the Hells Angels, or somebody who, I don't know, any form of like some kind of a gang or a bunch of Tibetan monks, you know, I mean, like they could literally be anything. These are just, I'm hearing poor examples in my head. Well, listen, I just woke up. But I feel like there's something about your people or people that surround you or people that support you that really appear kind of untouchable. And it would take a lot for other people to try to win them over against you, which is really interesting. Why do people want to come against you? But you're very intimidating in that way. Also with the Queen of Cups, this is, don't do that. Yeah, my psychic card. Let's see if we can get the glare off. And so the psychic card is always one of great mystery and one that people tend to fear quite a bit, you know, because it seems like you can tune into other people quite easily, their emotions, you know, how they're feeling. I feel like perhaps this is the pile where you guys could be really empathic. You could be empaths, you can absorb other people's energy or simply know exactly where they're coming from. And I feel like people are intimidated by that because if they have any facades, which a lot of people do around you, I feel like it's intimidating that you would be able to pick up on those nuances and those feelings. I feel like perhaps you could even speak out loud things that these people have said or just said, almost like having telepathy, right? And it's interesting because I feel like these very people also can be intimidated because it seems to them like you're a mind reader. Now, this could be that you're really good at reading a room. This could be a situation where they think they're a lot more private in their thoughts than what they really are, that maybe perhaps throughout their behavior, their emotions leak and ooze through, right? I feel like you pick up on nuances very well. So let's see what else. Yeah, but you're definitely in touch with your emotions, and definitely I feel like very psychic. Even you could even have dreams and then come and say, oh wow, you know, I had this dream about you, or this happened, and people could be a little bit shooketh by that and very uncomfortable. So yeah, and I feel like there's an air of silence about you. Like you don't speak much, and it really unnerves people because they don't know where you stand, right? If you're always talking, you're always giving stuff away. So pile number one, you have the wealthy man. Yeah, so it seems almost like you could be the wealthy man, but also this could be that even the wealthy man, metaphorically, right, is intimidated by you. Now I'm looking at the number 13, and to me that is a, you know, a nod to the death card in the tarot. So this could be even somebody that you had an ending with, right? Who maybe they have a little bit of a, I don't know, overinflated ego. Maybe they do have a high reputation, but they're intimidated by you because you have things within your own gated community, metaphorically, and you're not dependent on whatever it is that they have. And maybe perhaps these people are intimidated by you because the ruse and the facades and everything else that has worked with everybody else hasn't really worked with you. For example, you know, with the wealthy man here, and it all seems to go back to money. That's interesting. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're a boss babe and you make your own money, and good for you. But perhaps this is something to do with this person has led with their looks. They led with their money. They have led with a cockiness, right? And I feel like with the number 13, they're intimidated by you because none of those things have worked with you. I feel like first they led with their looks and their charm, and you're like, all right, next. And then maybe perhaps, yeah, they led with their money, and they're like, well, look, I have all this abundance and all this land and all this stuff. And you're like, well, good for your wallet. Anyways, as I was saying, so it could be something like that. I definitely feel, yeah, that these people have tried a lot of different tactics in quote subtle, not so subtle ways, and you just caught on, and you're not easily impressed. You're not easily impressed with the 3D, with what people have, because you realize that, you know what, things are things. If you want to get a reality check, just look at all of the mudslides happening in the world, or, you know, all of the sinkholes. I mean, anything can be taken away in a flash. And so I feel like you are really realistic about this, and I feel like you get into the nitty gritty. So I'm really surprised that the Queen of Swords didn't come through here. Interesting. Maybe you don't come across as like a biatch, right? But you definitely come across as somebody who is in the know, and people are intimidated because they know not to mess with you, that you're going to cut through any facade, that you can feel it, and that you will call it out perhaps. And maybe not deliberately to make them feel bad, but these tactics don't work. They have to circle the block. They have to regroup, replan, re-strategize, and come back. Maybe they have to even enlist a coach. Pile number one, I definitely feel like what's intimidating about you and why people are intimidated is that they do have to go back to a coach, that the old strategies do not work, that it forces people to put an ending to how they behaved in the past or how they behave with everyone else. And it's forcing them to go back to drawing board and come towards you authentically. And listen, authenticity is a very difficult energy to embody in this day and age, especially this day and age of social media, of, oh, look, you know, this is all appearances, or this is, you know, this is what the Joneses have, and this is how they do this, and, you know, it's picture perfect, and they're always together, and he's all scalpel, and she hands over the wrench, and he's like, hee, okay, try the next tool, honey, or something like that. I don't know. But I feel like none of these things have worked with you. And you've not stripped down people's confidence deliberately, but I feel like you brought things down to basics. You're like, you know, I don't have time, and I'm going to put an end to drama and trauma and in games and masks, because I don't have it in me. So that's very intimidating about you. Pile number one. Concern. Okay. Yeah. I feel like you put people in a place of concern. Okay. And I'm looking at all the lighting right here. He's covering his mouth. People don't really know. Oh, you know, with the death card right here, didn't mean to call this a death card, but sort of with the number 13. And you could be seeing 1333. That could be a special message for someone, or a lot of threes, 333. This has to do with everything with your relationship with other people. And I feel like people intimidate by you because you put them in a place of concern when you strip them down into who are you authentically. And this should be the time where it's like, wow, well, I like to, oh, okay, that was interesting. My headphones said power off and it quit. Okay, we're just going to do it with the good old microphone from Apple, but whatever. So I definitely feel like it puts it in a perspective to where they can't, cheat, scheme, or try to be somebody different. Like this air of authenticity is difficult for especially fake people to embody, or people that have gotten away with things based on their charm their whole life, or maybe that's what they reverted to because they thought that this is what really worked for 99.999% of the situations out there. But now they've encountered you, which is like a really true force. And how I'm getting that is the Queen of Cups. I don't feel like she would put on a lot of facades. I feel like she might be reclusive at times, emotional and secretive, but as far as putting on just airs and facades just for the sake of, I don't think that's it, right? So pile number 1, if this is you, or if you find my readings interesting, if you could please take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. I would be ever so appreciative. Also, don't forget to click your little notification bell where you get notified that I drop further readings. Pile number 1. Why are people intimidated by you? With a stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. Yeah, maybe you can bring about things like out of the blue, out of the clouds, or it could be just like a birthing of new situations, new business opportunities. And business is what's going to really generate us that money, that cash, right? I'm hearing cold cash. So people might think that you're really a lot more wealthy than you are, or that you're just a lot more stable, or get this, pile number 1, people that are used to utilizing money as a form of power, as a form of currency, is a form of control, really feel disempowered because it just doesn't work with you. So what they don't realize that it's not just like about the cold cash as they would have it, they would think about it, but it's just their behavior towards what that cash represents and how they use it. And it seems like these people can weaponize their own wealth and things like that. And so I don't know, something about money, stability, and your crowd that ain't taken, I feel like people could be very protective of you is another thing. And so that could be very, very intimidating. A woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. Okay. Well, I don't know why, but I'm getting third-party energy, and I feel like you could be really intimidating for anybody who comes across as like wanting to be a charmer, a gifter, but is really a drifter. Pile number 1, these people want to come into your life. Maybe even if you're attached or unattached, doesn't make a difference. They want to come through with a third-party energy. Maybe they have someone who is wifey, who's husbandy. That's not even a word, but you get the gist. Then they definitely feel like they want to kind of enlist you via the charm or whatever, and that you're not playing, that you're not rising to the bait, that you're not even looking like you're interested. And that's a measure of concern because now they have to, it's like it bothers people and it's intimidating and people can't let it go. I feel like this puts people in an obsessive energy over you. So something about that can means something to you. Now, pile number 1, I definitely feel like this can be a time where things are being revealed that you're going to hear a lot about people going around to third parties. Well, what did so-and-so say about me? Well, what do they think about me? Well, it could be friends. It could be lovers. It could be potential lovers. It could be just workers, co-workers. It could be managers, bosses. It could be friends within friends of the family that you vaguely know on the periphery, right? But I feel like all these people are really afraid to directly come towards you, maybe even because of the energetic stamp, imprint, or behavior that other people have had towards you, where it's like, wow, I mean, this person that I just met intimidates, you know, my cousin, my sister, my mother, my brother, whomever, my boss. This person intimidates my coworker, and they're a total badass. Like, why would that be? You know, and I think that it's almost like a spirit of intimidation through third party, okay? And I feel like this has a lot to do with, almost like he said, she said, like, people just tiptoe and don't approach you directly. And I feel like you might have quite the reputation of people being a little bit shooketh around your energy. And I don't know why, because I don't feel like it's all that deep or it has to go that way, okay? So pile number 1, why are people intimidated by you? Needle and thread, a sincere wish will be granted. It seems like you get whatever it is that you want. And I feel like this could be on the business front as well. It's like you want something, I want it, I got it, right? And I'm getting a lot of this like peach, pink, coral coloring. So So there could be a lot of maybe you coming out of like darkness, maybe coming in towards a light, maybe a business opportunity brings you to the forefront. People start understanding whom you are a lot more. And the fact that you are like direct, people can really start appreciating that instead of running scared because they're used to dealing with, I'm hearing the word falsies. That's so funny. It's like, that's what we call eyelashes, right? Fake eyelashes, the ones with the strips, and we call them falsies. But in my brain, we just call people falsies. So whatever. Yeah, whatever facade. But I definitely feel like you're embracing more of the coral nature. So the color coral, the color like a blush rose, or any of these colors, one of like warmth, of giving, one of love even. I feel like all these things can have to do with you intimidating other people, because it seems like it's almost oppositional to what they've heard, seen. And that's what happens when, you know, people gossip to begin with, or simply take their cues and inspiration and don't dive deeper into a curiosity that they have in a direct manner. So, you know, that's on them. But anyways, last card for the pile number 1, vulture. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So pile number 1, this could maybe be said about you. Maybe people see you as a vulture and that you have this anxiety, that maybe people are against you and it's not a truth, not a fact, but this is intimidating. Also, I definitely feel like, I mean, this is almost like somebody's, is it a pet vulture? Because I feel like it's, I don't know, kind of like a harness, like almost like the falcon where you cover their eyes and stuff. But it might be, I'm not entirely sure. But it seems to me like people are intimidated because you know how to make something out of nothing. With a vulture, I mean, they really literally get down to the bare bones, right? They're there to do a job, to clean up a carcass and to keep it pushing and find the next one. And I definitely feel like these people are intimidated because something about you could be or appear vulture-like. It could appear that, you know, you create things with a stork out of something that has ended, or yeah, and so on and so forth. So I'm picturing in my head one of the girls in Instagram, a lady who makes jewelry out of like deceased animal bones and things like that, and it's very beautiful jewelry, but it could be something like that. But it seems like it's very intimidating because you could have maybe a little bit of a gothy edge or a little bit of a finality to you. So yeah, people are intimidated because you handle things super well. I don't feel like you're going to go around the bend and go, well, how does so-and-so feel? How to, you know, you're not caring. It's like if they're portraying this, then you're going to end it and you're going to keep it pushing. Also, some of you guys, I feel like people could be intimidated because you can actually end a business relationship, a business partner. So it seems like it's not that you're volatile, it's that you know clearly what it is that you want. And if it's all based on superficial stuff and image, and look at me, or hey, we're all a family here, but yet there's no family behavior, I think that that's not working for you. And it can be causing concern and anxiety for other people, in fact. So that is what I have. Let me know what you guys think. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot. and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose this lovely image on the right side of the screen, and the downloads that I got are as follows. You are quite the golden one. You are absolute luxury, but something about you says rich inner world, if anything. And this surprises a lot of people. You are the secret weapon, pile number 2. If this is you, or if this sounds like you, then go ahead and join me for your actual reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I am so grateful for you. Thank you so very much. Pile number 2, why are people intimidated by you? You have the 9 of Pentacles. I'm like, hells, yeah, you do. And you have Judgment. Okay. So, I don't know. I feel like the vibe is similar to pile number 1. But, well, pile number 2, I'm going to say that people could be intimidated by you because you seem very self-sufficient. You're well aware that you can take care of yourself. I feel like you're not looking for anyone else to provide things for you, including emotional gratification, happiness, emotional stability. And I don't know why that's coming through, because usually this is very much like an earthy type of energy, but this is about luxury. So people feel like you have things. It's like, what can they bring to the table is the automatic feeling that they get when they see you, they approach you, or they think about you. Now, with the Judgment, and my chipped nail still not fixed on day 2. Don't judge me. I'm definitely going to say that this talks about looking at all the things that you have undergone, and maybe perhaps you have this ability to bring out the things in other people that they feel judged about as well. So yeah, I definitely feel like with the sword right here, you could be somebody who has the ability to really analyze things, to cut to the quick. I feel like maybe people could feel judged as well. And it could be maybe not even about like their resources and stuff like that, like comparing yourself to them, or they think that you're comparing yourself to them. I feel like what happens actually is people compare themselves to you, what they think you are able to provide for yourself. Keep in mind that a lot of this is like perception. Okay. And it's very intimidating to kind of be around somebody who doesn't necessarily need your judgment, but the number 222 on camera right now could mean something to you. So I definitely feel like people are intimidated by you because you wield a heavy sword. Because when you make a judgment, I feel like it is quite astute of you. I feel like you can cut through anything, any BS, any clout chasing, any pretenses, any this outfit is really mine when you borrowed it from your sister. I don't know. Those are like petty things, but I definitely feel like you are somebody who can cut right through the quick, not mess around, and keep it pushing. And people feel a certain way. Even if you're not the one like judging them, right? They feel automatically like judged because they're comparing themselves to you. It's really kind of weird, but this is what I'm getting right off the bat. So let's see what else we have going on for you. Pile number 2. I'm all laughing, sorry. But this came out in pile number 1 as well. Why are people intimidated by you? Yeah, you cause a lot of concern for those around you. And I definitely feel like you cause people self-reflect. And number 333, I always think of the cogs working together, the cogs of the wheel. But of course, when you add these up, then I have to think of the number 6. And I happen to, during the shuffle, if you didn't see, I flipped over the card. The 6 of Swords actually flipped over for you. So I feel like people get concerned because you don't need anything from them, that you'll form a judgment and that you're going to move on. And they feel very concerned. They feel worried about it. They feel stressed about it. And they feel like it's almost like they're planning, in some ways, their own funeral. And I know that sounds kind of dramatic, but if you really think about it, people, especially nowadays, seem so codependent on other people. And it's not just like a healthy, relying upon society. It's just a codependency. So maybe you're providing something for these people, but they're intimidated by you regardless because they feel like you're going to leave. And yeah, this could be a marriage, a relationship, a friendship. This could be a situationship. This could be, leaving the family home. You fill in the blanks, of course. So here we go. Leaving the house. Leaving the house. Yeah. So again, this could be you going to a different gated community. It's like you are no longer, putting up with BS, and you have great judgment, great discerning. And this house right here just tells me that maybe you're looking for a different kind of stability or stability, period. And you know that you can foster this from yourself, that you don't have to outsource it or rely upon other people around you. And that really makes people feel intimidated, because it's almost like, well, then you don't need me. It brings about insecurities on their own side of the fence, right? That they have to deal with. They're forced to really confront that the real issue isn't necessarily that you can provide for yourself and that you do well on your own, and that you're really focused on just, I don't know, like whatever your hands are building. And it's not about them comparing, you comparing yourself to anyone else. But it definitely brings out, oh my gosh, if pile number 2 leaves, then what's going to happen? And are they forming judgments against me? Do they not like me? It's just kind of a weird energy. So let's see where this goes. Pile number 2, we have the ladder. Climbing towards success. Wow. Okay, well, that does make sense. And yeah, people feel like in order to be around you, it's almost like they have to provide something to be of help of your success. Okay, in order to leverage your success, basically. So people can think that you're a social climber, that you kind of maybe do things for clout. I think I used that word a few minutes ago in your reading. People are definitely intimidated because they're feeling like you will do anything to continue climbing on your own ladder of success. And even if it includes the exclusion of them. Okay, that was like weird, redundant way of saying it, but I think that you're getting the gist. So if it means you traveling to a different part of the world, if it means you boycotting a certain kind of a product, if it means you, minimizing time with them in order to pursue other things, you're going to do whatever it takes in order to continue being productive and being successful. And that's why you're intimidating. It's like, nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Okay, I think it's on the way up, but here we go. So let's see what else is going on here. What? Money will be coming to you. Yes, it is. Cool. So money will be coming to you. So people are intimidated by you. Yeah, because of your appearance of like wealth and success. Now, keep in mind, I'm hearing the word dogma, and I don't feel like you're like this, but I think that people are intimidated by you because they feel a certain way around you. It's almost like if you're not successful, you don't want to be around them. That's what they're thinking. And keep in mind, again, these are other people's projections. It doesn't necessarily have to be the truth, right? But money will be coming to you. And I heard the word soon. My brain saw soon, but it's not on here. So money is going to be coming to you. And people know that. And people, again, know that you are going to continue climbing that ladder of success, whatever that really means to you. Keep in mind, success, a definition of abundance, success, luxury, even self-sufficiency are all different. I follow this girl on, I think it's TikTok. I'm not sure. Could be IG. But she is how does she put it? She doesn't say homeless. She's like the houseless traveler or something like that. And quite interesting. She keeps everything in a bag. And, her definition of success and ideas are really different. I feel like radically different than everybody else's. And so it's kind of cool to watch different people go through life in their own journeys and redefine themselves and not allow society to put labels and things on other people. So I don't know. I definitely feel like you could be somebody here's an undertaker. Somebody here works for a funeral home. I'm just going to put it out there and say it like that. But I definitely feel like, yeah, this is about money, cooperation. It could be corporation even. Yeah, this could be about corporations, merging together and you deciding that you want to go out, branch out on your own type of thing. So I don't know, what's intimidated by you is you look like luxury. You look high class. You look like money. You look fit. You look beautiful. You look like you are difficult to afford. Don't hate me. I'm just saying what I hear. So pile number 2, if you're liking these readings, if it has been anything of help to you, then please do like, share, comment, subscribe. I would also be very grateful if you can click your little notification bell so you get notified when I drop further readings. Pile number 2, why are people intimidated by you? With the stork, listen, this came out in another reading. It did. So news of birth or new business opportunity. Yeah, you're all about mover and a shaker and a candlestick maker. It's like, you know what, you're going to make lemonades. You're going to make a natural antidepressant by telling people they can bite the peel of that lemon and that you will sell it in this kind of form. It's a jelly form or whatever. I don't know. So you can make your own supplements. You can share that with your community. I definitely feel like you see opportunity where other people see obstacles. And that's really intimidating because I definitely feel like, especially I heard in my mind, in my brain, the obstacle thrower. So anybody who's throwing obstacles at you, I definitely feel like they're intimidated by you because you just see opportunity. You're like, okay, well, that sucks to, you're going to put a bunch of spikes in front of my car so that if I drive forward, there's a bunch of, spikes that are going to puncture my tire. That really sucks. And you're like, well, I guess I'm going to back it up. Back it up. Just kidding. And I'm going to figure something else out. I'm going to go, a different route, a different way. And maybe it just wasn't meant to be on my path, or maybe my path is varying for me to seek something totally different. So it's almost like, it's not that you're unfazed, it's that you're solution oriented, that you're very quick to grasp the idea that there is prosperity, opportunity, there is luxury, there is abundance, there's happiness to be found if you see obstacles in front of you. Yeah, and that's where that 6 of Swords that fell out during your shuffle, your initial shuffle, really makes a difference in this reading. I kind of felt like I should have kept it, but I did not. So here we are talking about it. Anyways, where are people intimidated by you? What? Oh my gosh, a position of authority. So this could have to do indeed with a job. This could have to do with, let's say that you have a family business and, all like 3 generations have done this, and we have a grocery store, we have a restaurant, we have a food service business, we have a hotel, we're doing Airbnb now, we're whatever, all the things. And you decide, you know what, all these things are turning out into obstacles for me, or you simply decide I want to branch out and I don't really want to do hospitality anymore. I don't want to do the food service industry or mental health care, whatever it is that you're involved in. You decide that you want to go somewhere else and you're going to do like vacation homes, or you're going to be a travel blogger or whatever, right? I feel like you're going to look at those opportunities, and there's opportunities within those opportunities. So example would be like you decide to open up a channel and you're like, okay, this is 2025. And if all the electricity in the grid goes down, this is what we're going to do. So you show the family having to, build their own stoves, or real life stoves, smokeless stoves out in the wilderness or out in their own backyards, so that, people can't see smoke, and that won't be like a red flag, and you could be a target or whatever. And so you show the real undertakings of having to learn how to build a stove in a practical way, and not just think, oh, modern society, I'll just light a match, it's going to go. And you have the kids involved and the older people involved, everybody involved in this like project of what if the grid goes down channel, right? And then you monetize the channel, but you're teaching your family real life skills. And that's like a double benefit right there. That's how I see it anyways. And then you're kind of like, okay, well, it's been a while. We don't know. What if we don't have, these kind of resources? Are we able to glean off the land, if there is anything glean off land, whatever? Or can we grow this? And so I think that you get the point. And during your process of, I'm going to grow a garden in order to really supplement this, or I'm going to do canning in order to really help my family in case there is a catastrophic event or something like that, then you could be, in essence, like showing also product that you're utilizing in order to, it's like you're it's not selling product, but you're demonstrating product. And if people buy it, they buy it, and that's fine. You get a small commission, whatever. But you're like, okay, this is a canning product that I use. Okay, let's pretend that there's no electricity. Then I'm going to be using this tool instead. And that actually is food safe for like 3 months or whatever. And you can demo it that way. So I think that you are very versatile. You think very much outside of the box. I feel like you are borderline brilliant, and maybe you don't even know it. And I'm hearing I'm sexy and I know it, but I don't think you're even paying attention to that, to be honest. I think that you're enjoying luxury, and that could be a pair of chanclas, okay? A pair of like house slippers that are like fuzzy and soft and like really calming to you. Or that could be a nice luxury car or a new leather couch, whatever you define luxury to be. That could be like a new hair product. I know even guys enjoy their hair product and their, you know, face skincare or whatever. So this could be simply stating that you just look like luxury, you enjoy it. And luxury, again, doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, you can even, you know, with an egg, you can do a lot with like facial products and stuff like that. So that's out there for somebody, but it's all about your perspective. I think that your brain is like a money maker. It just is. It just is. And I feel like if you follow it for that length of time, any length of time, that you are bound to be successful, not only by your own standards, but by other people's standards as well. And I do feel like opportunity knocks on your door. So that is what I have for you. Much, much love. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. I feel like you're very precise. You could be someone who really enjoys monochromatic color palettes. Sounds interesting. Very detail oriented, you're to the point. You could wear braids or like wigs or different hair, something like that. I get a lot of fashion, but also a lot of like to the point and pragmatic things. So if this is you, or if this sounds like you, or even intriguing, join me for your reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I hope you find something that is helpful or encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I am super grateful to have you. Thank you so very much. Pile number 3. I don't even know where I put that number, but here we go. Pile number 3. Why are people intimidated by thee? So we have the 10 of Wands, and we have the 9 of Cups. So with the 10 of Wands, clearly we see this person giving their back, okay? So your back is to them. It's like whatever burdens you, people know that you're going to eventually give your back to them and walk away. I feel like this is in pursuit of love, of happiness, of emotional gratification, of getting a wish fulfillment, of having a wish fulfilled. Yeah, you're intimidating because you're not going to put up with, let me put more on your plate. Let me not carry my own burdens, sort of a thing. So I definitely feel like, you know, you have a lot of tenacity. So you are somebody that is known for being a hard worker, for having a lot of enthusiasm, having a lot of fire, a lot of excitement, maybe even getting into tussles, okay? And as I'm talking about that, I'm thinking about like the 10 of Wands, the whole suit and the progression. So I definitely feel like you could be, you know, defensive. You could be protective. You could even block a bunch of people. And all those things could be true. But if it gets to the point where you've taken all the actions, all the necessary precautions, all the necessary things that make you feel, in other words, you've done all the steps in order for you not to feel super burdened. But if you continue feeling incredibly burdened and there's no relief in sight, I feel like you're going to walk away. With a 10, to me, I just see an ending. A 10 is an ending. It reduces to 1. A 1 is a new beginning. And I feel like you are somebody that you're not afraid to begin things all over again. Like, I feel like people can look at their own lives and think, wow, you know, 20 years flushed down the toilet or whatever when they talk about a marriage, a partnership, a friendship, whatever. But I definitely feel like you have a different sort of mindset. You're kind of like, well, I've learned the lessons that I needed to learn. I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of things right, did a lot of things wrong. But regardless, this is not my place to stay any longer. And so, again, this could be a home, this could be a mindset, this could be a business, a friendship, situationship. This could be even like how you progress within your own family, right? You're like excited, yeah, I'm a member of this family and everything's great. And, you know, Three of Wands, you're kind of like waiting for things to change. And then the Four of Wands, you could be like, let me get a little bit of rest. And then the Five of Wands, let me go ahead and duke it out with my brothers and sisters, or even my parents if need be, right? Anyways, the whole progression of the wand suit for me energetically is here, even though I have the completion, the finality, the Ten of Wands. So something about you really screams, look, I'm going to put in all my effort, but after all my effort is used up and I realize that nothing is coming, there's no emotional gratification, no fulfillment, no wish fulfilled, nothing that gives you, because the wand suit is all fire, energy, passion, right? There's no cups there. There's no emotion. There's no reciprocal energy. There's no emotional satisfaction, emotional gratification. I feel like you're just going to let it go. And people get really intimidated by that. And so it can look a lot of different ways. I think that partners could be a little bit spooked by that, or potential partners if you're not partnered. Or even people simply looking on the outside going, wow, you know, pile number 3 would be really difficult to partner with because they put their all into it. And if things don't go well, I just know they're going to bail. They're going to just take off, and that's going to be the end of that, you know? So something about bail and jail is actually what I heard. So, what's intimidating about you is that you're willing to even support people that maybe even have been to jail or are in jail. Like maybe you put money on their books and things like that. But if it comes to a point where your sleep is disturbed at night, it's ruining your peace, it's taking food away from your children, and or you feel manipulated or used in any way, shape, and form, I feel like regardless if this is baby daddy, baby mom, it doesn't matter. You will stop it, you will put an end to it, and you will keep it pushing forward. So that's for like one person maybe. So pile number 3. Why are people intimidated by the wealthy man? Okay, you could appear wealthy, or people could just assume things, right? We assume things about each other all the time because it's not like we have a, you know, we're gonna walk up and go, hey, are you wealthy? Are you smarmy? Do you just like stand around and feel like you know everything at all times? We're not going to do that. We're just going to assume. It's like by the look on your face, I can tell that, you know, you think a lot of yourself or whatever. So pile number 3, I definitely feel like some people take this and feel like it's a negative, but people are intimidated by you because you do have a lot of self-esteem, because you do have an ability to read the room. With the number 13, it brings me back to the Tarot, the Death card. And you do have an ability to put an end to things. Once again, walking away when things become a burden. And now I definitely feel what's intimidating about you is that you can see all the red flags. Now, I have this habit of putting cards down, then I need them again. But looky here, friend. I'm looking at the back right here. And to me, all of a sudden, it looks like jail bars. I don't know. The bars in a jail cell or something like that. So it almost seems to me like I don't know. I feel like you could put people through their paces. I feel like also people could feel like a specimen when it comes to you, like almost like you observe to the point where you analyze so well and that they become a specimen in your jar, like very much like this. You're like, you know, what do we have here? And I feel like it's intimidating because it's very, I heard cunning, but it just makes people uncomfortable. And who gets uncomfortable is the people that have to hide-ish, right? People that hide stuff from you, try to hide stuff, or people that have like the wrong motives. And I feel like you're able to clock that easily. So here we go. House. Oh my gosh. I was like, this flipped out even in the pre-shuffle for you. During the shuffle, it flipped, and I was like, no, we already got this, but here it comes again. So, wealthy man, this could be about a house, about your status. This could be about your reputation as well. But I feel like you are headed towards your north, right? Your midheaven, if you will. I feel like you are letting go of a lot of things that just really cause you chaos and unhappiness and sadness and burden. And you're pursuing things that that give you joy, that give you happiness, that make you feel safe and protected. Why do we have gates around our homes? So that other people don't trespass, and so that maybe we can let our dogs, and that they're not going to be, you know, in the middle of the road in harm's way and things like that. There is a separator and a barrier against like what you have and what other people have, where you're at and where other people are at. And I feel like with this, people are intimidated by you because it's very clear that you will establish clear boundaries and clear, clear boundaries between you and other people. And it's like, even if you're in a partnership, situationship, whatever, it's like, we are not one. It's like, I'm an individual, you're an individual, and we are individuals together, and we can partner together. That's the thing. But this whole like, you complete me, becoming one or whatever, I mean, that's okay if that's your mindset, but I definitely feel like people are intimidated by you because it's very clear that you are going to act autonomously and you're not going to be like codependent. I don't know. That's a big thing coming out of this read lightly. You're welcome. Here we go. Pile number 3. If you are indeed liking these kind of readings, take a moment, please, and like, share, comment, subscribe. I would be ever so grateful. Also, don't forget to click the little notification bell where I drop further readings. Yeah. So pile number 3. Why are you intimidating? La boat. Money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. I know that's right. So yeah, because it seems like you're willing to journey, you're willing to take risks. And I almost see this as like that little pole where, you know, people would tie strings to in cartoons, and they're like, okay, we're going to get the horses going or the dogs running by having something in front of their face. And it's almost like we are headed somewhere and we have a goal in mind and we're not going to stop. So I definitely feel like money or property through inheritance or windfall. Yeah. So you could be winning a scratcher, the lottery. Please play responsibly. I don't know. But it could be a thing with you. Now, with a boat, I don't know. I get like immigrant, migration, things like that. It could be that you're not really from the place where you are currently living in, and maybe you are seeking more to be rooted in your roots, where you came from originally. A lot of us like tend to move away from home, right? Our origin of birth, let's say, and then we circle back, even if we were adopted, even if we've, you know, lived there like 2 days and then we just wind up going back or whatever. But something about maybe going back in time. Interesting. Yeah. So you're intimidating. People are intimidated by you because it seems like you have prosperity on your mind and you call it in. I feel like you are a magician. You're a great manifestor as well. And then we have success assured with good plans and hard work. Yeah. So a lot of these cards are just all about like business, success, this nest egg. Maybe you're thinking about your next egg. That's hilarious. Pile number 3, are you thinking about your next egg? What are you going to have next? Well, I'm going to have this egg. Anyways, yeah. But you are definitely always planning for the future, thinking about, okay, this is a move that I want to make. How can I facilitate this? How can I make those moves? And it seems to me like you could be somebody who's a mover and a shaker, not planted in any one place for a long time. Maybe you have like a place where this is where I come to decompress, but then I got to travel. I got to go. I got to explore, whatever. But then you come back to home base. So something about that could be a thing as well. Now, for maybe 1 or 2 people, you guys work in the security industry. I don't know what this is. Maybe you work like cybersecurity. Maybe you work like home security or personal security, like bodyguard, things like that. Or you could be like undercover. I don't know your life, right? You could work for the DEA or any of the other 3-letter businesses, really, that I should not be mentioning, but I just mentioned one of them. I think you get the point. So there's something about you that really you could be focused on security right now. I think that's a really big thing with you. So let's see what else we have going on here. People are intimidated. Why are people intimidated by pile number 3? Box. You'll receive a gift. People want to give you stuff. You're intimidating because people want to give you stuff. Also, it seems like you come from a long heritage, okay? So you could be very submerged in your own culture. I had a friend once upon a time, and he would like, you know, go on these, I don't know, spiritual things. I don't know. I don't think they were like ayahuasca journeys, but I think it was like peyote journeys and things like that. But I've known people, you know, to do that, and they would just go and have this mysterious time with their bloodline, and it was always very fascinating to me. I always want to ask a lot of questions, but anyways, I never got that far, so sad for me. I didn't get the information I needed. Anyways, yeah, but you'll receive a gift. So something about you being very prosperous, how you're not afraid to set foot on different terrain, different lands, and whatnot, and also you're not afraid to go back, you know, and return to somewhere that maybe perhaps that had good memories for you, that felt a little bit like nostalgia, a little bit like home, a little bit safe. Safety is once again coming up again in your reading. And maybe you're a great protector, right? Maybe you are a protector who protects like family, like everybody around you is under your own protection, your protection. I feel that way very much. Like if anybody messes with anybody that I care about, I'm like, you're under my protection. Whether I have the means or not, I'm going to figure it out. You know, I'm going to go out swinging is my famous words. But anyways, let's keep it pushing here. Why are people intimidated by you? Yeah, you're not afraid to jump in the fray. And I feel like this is great happiness. Look at that. It's almost like a little, what is that? I don't know. It's almost like the never-ending story. So something about having belief and, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to watch that again. But if you guys haven't seen it, it's a great, great movie, probably a great book. I never read the book. But something about the never-ending story could have a message for you. And it's like you got to believe. You have to believe in order for things, the darkness not to take over and for life to crumble. I think that was the point of the movie. But I won't swear to it. So I'm going to have to look that up and then say yes, or put a thing on here and tell you a little bit more about it. So that was what I have for you. Yeah, it's like you have a never-ending belief in yourself. And so you have all these great qualities, like you're a protector, protectress. You are somebody who takes things seriously, but you have a belief in the mystery and the unknown and failing faith in yourself. And that's very intimidating, especially in a day and age where we are relying on social media for clout. We're relying on numbers. We're relying on paychecks. We're relying on what we see with the tangible, not what we see with our hearts and with vibration or anything like that. So very interesting. But I think that people are very intimidated by you because you are different. All of these things come to you naturally, but you're not relying upon like what your eyes see. You're relying a lot on faith, on belief. And pile number 3, I definitely feel like you are the pile that you were not believed in, that you were not necessarily encouraged when you were growing up. And it's, you know, people can think encouraging words could be like, oh, you could be whatever it is that you want to. And yet you have people around you, you know, when you're super young and they're like drugging and they're doing their sexcapades and they're, you know, bringing people home, and it's chaotic and there's drama and there's fighting and pushing and pulling and there's no stability. But yeah, right. You can do whatever, you can be whatever you want when you grow up. Sorry, I don't know why this like amuses me. I'm talking about, you know, my own childhood or whatever. But, you know, and I've caused my own chaos as an adult. So there is that. But I'm just going to say that you have not been given a place to like a platform or place or a space to thrive, to flourish, and you've had to provide it for yourself. And maybe perhaps that is why safety keeps coming up with you. People have to be safe in order to be around you. And I think that that's incredibly intimidating. Again, especially for people that have malintention. I don't even know if that's a real word, but here we are using it. If they don't have good intentions, if they are looking at your resources simply to use to absorb, then that's a problem and you're going to clock it. So yeah, but anyways, that is what I have. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, namaste.